Have you ever wondered what it takes to sign with a major label such as Atlantic Records? Well, if you have, then you'll definitely want to check out our sit-down interview with Pamela Charbet, A&R Manager for Atlantic Records. We discuss the strategy Atlantic executes for signing artists today, as well as what the label expects from you, the artist, after you sign with them, and much, much more. Right now.
This episode of the MUBUTV Insider video series is brought to you by the Music Business Registry. The Music Business Registry is the leading music industry publisher of the most up-to-date contact information for major and independent record label A&R, music publishers, artist managers, music attorneys, music supervisors, and much, much more. The Music Business Registry is the trusted industry standard and source serving the music business community for over 30 years with the most accurate and up-to-date contact information available. Their titles include the A&R Registry, the Film and Television Music Guide, the Music Publisher Registry, and the Music Attorney Registry. All of their publications are available in PDF, CSV, or online subscription. Visit musicregistry.com and use coupon code MUBUTV10 at checkout. That's musicregistry.com, coupon code MUBUTV10. When you're ready to put your music to work, musicregistry.com.
Hi, it's Ritch Esra from MUBUTV, where our mission is to educate, empower, and engage your music career. We're coming to you from MuseExpo in Burbank, California, where we managed to catch up with Pamela Charbet, who is the A&R manager at Atlantic Records. Pamela, welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very, very well. Pamela, for Atlantic Records today, what is the A&R signing strategy at the label?
So obviously we keep tabs on like what's happening in the market. You know, we want to make sure that we have ears everywhere, we have eyes everywhere, but at the same time we are focused on quality versus quantity. You know, we want to make sure that the A&R that is signing, and not just the A&R, but like everybody in the label is passionate about the music, is passionate about the vision, is passionate about the artist. So I feel like, you know, Atlantic is like still one of the labels that are still doing artist development. So we sign, you know, sometimes baby artists, you know, that just that just don't have like crazy data, but that we really believe in. So it's really interesting, and I feel like it's really something missing right now in the industry.
Pamela, how does A&R define success today in the market?
Look, it's obviously there's like the market has been evolving, you know, has been changing. So the success that was like 20 years ago is not the same that is now. You know, there are so many artists like right now in a marketplace, and now it's so easy to just like put music out there, you know, on Spotify or any platforms, you know, anybody can do it. So the market became like oversaturated in a way, you know. So but there's not, in my opinion, I don't think there's like just like one way, it's not a one-way street. You know, it's not, you can have somebody that has success in their own niche and they're very happy about it on their own market. You know, you can have success in your own country and making a living, you know, and being very happy about it. And then you can have success internationally. And like, obviously it's like the goal, you know, for everybody to be like international and like resonate with like fans all over the world. But success is like, cannot be defined by just like one, you know, sentence. It really depends on like the goal of the artist. What does the artist want to achieve, you know? But for us, obviously, when we sign an artist, we want them to like being the best possible. You know, we want them to resonate with as many people around the world as possible. So if you take one artist signed to us, like Bruno Mars, for example, you know, he came from the bottom, you know, when they signed him, and now he's like one of the biggest stars in the world, you know. Ed Sheeran, Coldplay, we now have like Gail, you know, that had like a huge hit this year. So obviously, it's like success can be defined differently, but we want the best of the best.
Okay, so can you tell me what is your criteria? In terms of signing an artist, what are the factors that have to be present for you to truly be passionate about wanting to sign an artist?
Vision. You know, I feel like a lot of people are trying to sound like somebody else, you know, especially when we see a new trend in the marketplace and a new artist that is like blowing up, everybody trying to copy, you know. And I got a lot of emails, to be honest, of people who be like, how can I sound like this artist? How can I sound like this artist? You know, and I'm like, oh, I'm the next this artist. And I'm like, you don't want to be the next this artist. You know, you want to be you. You want to be like unique. You know, that's what gonna make you stand out in front of the public. So to me, having like a vision of like what you want to do and your music and where you want to go is very important. Also, work ethic, just like I said, because obviously when I sign an artist and when the label signs an artist, we have a partnership. So we have a team, but I cannot work harder than you. You know, even your manager cannot work harder than you. So if the artist doesn't want to like be the hardest on the music and like work super hard days and nights, I can do it. You know, it's very important. And also willingness to like learn. So example, TikTok and all of those new mediums, Twitch and now like the Web3, you know, it's like new emerging markets and new things that we have to implement in our strategies. And sometimes artists don't like TikTok or don't know TikTok or like any other like tools, but are they willing to learn? Are they willing to like do whatever it takes to reach an audience on those platforms? So yeah, willingness to work, willingness to learn, work ethic and visions.
Okay. Take us through the process. Let's say you've signed an artist, they're on Atlantic. Take us through the journey that initially, once the artist has been signed, that, you know, the kinds of opportunities or things that they may be doing with the label to, you know, sort of have wins, you know, little wins for them along the way while you're setting that up. I mean, are there things that you do once the artist is signed?
So we do, obviously, a big chunk of my job is like setting up sessions, so like new partnerships, new creative partnerships. So introduce them to producers, writers, other artists, you know, so developing this aspect of like the creativity. So setting up, you know, my artist going with this writer, this producer that they might love because they heard like other stuff that they did, you know, and they always wanted to work with this person. I make it happen, you know, that's part of my job. Also, like, you know, like helping with like collabs, you know, with like other artists, whether it's within Atlantic or like other artists signed to other label, you know, I'm here for that, I'm here to help for that. And also, you know, helping, obviously giving feedback on the music, you know, and like constructive feedback. It's not just about saying, oh, I love it or I hate it, you know, it's about how we can make the best music possible. So like, again, comes back to what I was saying previously, is like there's so many artists that now it's so hard to catch people's attention, you know. The attention span became like very short, you know, and so many artists want attention. Everybody wants attention, you know, especially in entertainment. So like, how do you catch somebody's attention? You know, how do you make sure that this person is gonna stream your songs, add your songs to playlist, come to your shows, you know, like, you know, subscribe, whatever. So it's an entire strategy that we put in place with the rest of the marketing team, and we try to think about ideas, but also building a storyline. You know, now it's like social media and like Instagram and everything. People, the fans, they just don't want like just the music. They want to know who you are as an artist. You know, what do you stand for? Who are you behind the camera? You know, and I feel like that's like a big part of like some artists' success, because they're funny, because they're like not just the music but like the personality behind it. So what's the story? We help with that, and obviously, you know, we want to like bring opportunities for artists. So like anything I can, like even outside of my, I guess, A&R job, you know, if I can introduce my artists to some people, you know, like whoever I have in contact, I'll do it, because what I want is for them to succeed, and that's my goal, and that's the team's goal and the label's goal. You know, if you win, we win. So it's like, you know, common ground and common goal. I'll say that.
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting. You speak about team, and I'm curious for you, Pamela, when you're seriously considering signing an artist, how important is an artist team in your consideration to sign them? Is that something you take into account? It's
very important, because unfortunately, you know, you can have an amazing artist, but if the team and the management is not solid, it could ruin everything for them, you know. And sometimes it's not their fault, because they just want to succeed, so they don't know better, you know, especially when they're starting out, you know, and you have a manager and you don't know, you know, how they are. But it's very important that we know the team is like working hard and like going hard, just like the artists and just like us. Because when we sign artists, and personally when I sign artists, I want quality over quantity. I don't want to sign like a million acts and not really like not doing much for any of them. I prefer to have like smaller roster and really work and really like do it, you know, and go hard. But if the management is not doing much, what can I do more, you know? So obviously, like, yeah, having a solid management is very, very important, you know? I mean, I feel like you're as good as your team, you know, it's a teamwork at the end of the day. So like, it takes a village to break an artist, and again, it's very hard, so it takes like a strong village to break an artist, so you need that.
You started a blog a while ago called On the Move, which highlighted new artists that are out there. How does an artist get on your radar these days, or with the blog to be written about?
I listen to everything I receive. This is something that I've done since the magazine, you know. It was really a small blog that I was just people that I was passionate about, that I was finding on the internet, unknown artists, and then we started getting traction and people loved those guys, and I started getting calls from labels and just like people emailing me, and no matter if I know the person who emailing me or not, I will listen to it, you know, because you never know. You can find a diamond in the rough, and if you pass on it, you regret it after, you know. So, you know, we had an amazing success. We had Luis Fonsi before Despacito. It was his first cover in Europe, like magazine cover. We had Lewis Capaldi before Someone I Used to Love. We had 21 Pilots at the beginning. We had Charlie Puth before See You Again. So we had a lot of like success because we are building, we bet on artists before the buzz. And that's what I'm trying to do with like my A&R job now, is not just like follow data and the buzz and when everybody's trying to sign somebody and just like putting checks here and there, but being here before, you know, and really building with an artist or with like a creative before they get their success, you know. That's what I want, and that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Well, you're succeeding at that. I mean, with the blog and with the artists that you mentioned, it's obvious that you were on the front lines, you know, with a lot of those people, Puth and so forth, early. Yeah. Which is really fantastic.
Yeah, obviously it's their success. I don't take any credit, but the fact, you know, we discovered them on the internet before anything happened, and we were like, when I heard like, you know, for example, See You Again, amazing record, that I was like, oh, I know this voice, I know this guy, and then I saw his name, I was like, hey, like we wrote about him like 2 years prior to that, you know, and not just him, other people. So like it's very it's fulfilling, you know. It's fulfilling that, you know, you're like, okay, you know, this guy was good and I was right. Not just I was right, but like the fact that he gets recognition, they get recognition because they deserve it, and they're amazing artists. And that's why I want for like now even more for my artists, you know, for the people to see what I saw when I wanted to, and why I wanted to sign them.
And you have. Pamela, in your life, have there been any books or movies that you've seen or books that you've read that really resonated with you emotionally on a professional level that you can recommend to our audience?
Look, I'm a huge Clive Davis fan, you know, obviously, legend, you know.
I worked with Clive for many, many years.
What can I say, you know, one of the best. So, you know, it has this biography that is very interesting. And there's also David Foster that I absolutely love, you know. There's like the movie on Netflix that is very interesting, how I like, documentary. I love those legends, you know. I feel like nowadays we don't have those, unfortunately, you know, like Michael and Whitney Houston. That's irreplaceable, you know. And I wish I was in A&R what Clive was, you know. So yeah, I feel like it's very important to like learn from those guys, from those legends in the industry, and what they did, how they did it, and then apply and trying to like make your ways around the new industry that is like happening right now. But to me, it's important to learn from like the best, you know. And that's what I'm doing right now. Even with people like nowadays I work in the industry, I try to just always, you know, get advice and, you know, get coffee with people I like more senior and try to pick up, you know, advice and everything. So you always can learn from somebody, and I love that. So
absolutely. What advice would you have, because you're in a good place to give it, for someone who's really interested in becoming an A&R executive as a career path?
Don't give up. No. I mean, look, I came from Paris with absolutely no contact in the music industry, no friends, no family. I've never been to LA before moving to LA. So I just came here with my luggages, and I was like, okay, now I have to figure out, what do? I didn't have any job. And, you know, obviously coming from another country, you have an additional, you know, additional problems that could come with it. But, you know, the more people you meet, the better. and never underestimate nobody, and also be nice to everybody. Because, you know, you're starting from the bottom, everyone did at some point. You know, no one is born like a senior VP, you know, like a senior director or like VP. Everyone started from the bottom, but like if you're nice to everybody, assistant, everybody, really everybody, like they remember you positively, you know? And so try to make as many contacts as possible and do the job before you get the title. You know, for me, I was meeting a lot of artists before, and I was like meeting songwriters and producers. I was organizing sessions. We did a camp, songwriting camp before I was an A&R. So I did like kind of like a part of like the A&R job before I got the title. And I feel like it's important. It's very important. So do the job before you get the title.
Wow. Some really great insight coming from Pamela on what it takes to get signed with Atlantic Records. So, insiders, question of the day. From this video, what were the most relevant points to you that Pamela spoke about during our conversation with her? Was it how A&R defines success for artists today? Or was it Atlantic's A&R strategy for signing artists? Or was it what A&R expects from you after signing the deal? Or maybe it was something else that stood out to you. Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to MUBUTV for more information on how to educate, empower, and engage your music career. In addition, we recently put together a free guide on the best strategies to use when contacting A&R executives. This is extremely important before beginning your journey. So, if you're interested in receiving it, we've included a link to that in the description below. It's totally free and goes through the top do's and don'ts before you even think about reaching out to A&R, such as asking yourself, is my music 100% ready to go? Making sure you don't include attachments of any kind in your email, only direct links to either your Spotify or SoundCloud accounts, and much, much more. This is an incredibly crucial guide into learning the art and etiquette of connecting with the A&R community. So, if you're interested in receiving that, we'll link to it in the description below. You can also check out a summary of this episode and everything we talked about in the YouTube description as well. And if you enjoyed this video, we'd really love it if you hit the like button and let us know what other kinds of videos and types of content you want to see on our channel. Hit us up in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.